Wyndon is really empty. Yeah, I've seen people say that Wyndon was kind of hardware for the Wii, and you can really see they were trying to do something. Like, it's really big, and then they put in a lot of spaces to do stuff. Then at the end of the day, there are no people, and anything that you want to do is in the background. So for this adventure, I took my camera, and I walked around London, and I tried to turn London into my personal Wyndon. I don't like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so I'm not complaining about the stations in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Because they do have charm, they do have flair, and they do have aesthetics. But the special thing about London, or in this case Wyndon specifically, it's a completely different world from the rest of the UK. So the station here should have at least been different. Like, the London Underground system is so unique and so special, and it's such a big part of the British culture that it's a bit of a waste that the station here is the same as every other station you get in the UK. So exploring the stations in the UK, they're all dark and dingy and cold and crowded and noisy, and nobody ever likes them. But then you're on them every day and you're spending £5 going there and back and forth. In this frame, I thought it was really cute. So this is like Piccadilly Station, and I think that's like a closed off entrance. I'm pretty sure you can't get Sableye in Pokemon Sword and Shield, but Sableye is there. Can you see all the other Pokemon? That's another thing about London, there's just so much going on that when I designed these Pokemon characters, they sort of just blended into everything. Yeah, so you've got a Klefki, which is a really cute Pokemon. I didn't know his face could actually smile like that. Galarian Stunfisk, which is sort of underappreciated to me. I actually really like it. It will not fit in London, but I like it. And then you've got two birds, and I doubt you noticed it, but you've got Ghastly in the background. There's this place my mom really likes. It's called Fortnum and Mason, and I personally don't really drink tea, and I don't really appreciate this like fine china because I don't have the money for it. But I've been there quite a few times, and I feel like it's such a unique place that it's worth just like popping your head in and smelling everything, because it smells really great. It actually smells great. And you've got Sinistea and Sinistcha, which is sort of not a reflection, but it's an appreciation of the British tea culture. So I thought, let's take a photo and let's try to bring Sinistea and Sinistcha into the world. So this one had a bit of a different shading because I was trying to really merge the two images together. Like, the Pokemon is part of the teapot. I think it came out quite well. The whole idea of the authentic and cracked pot Sinistea honestly never really clicked with me. I never really cared. Yeah, generally I never cared. So people like, oh, I'm really into shiny hunting, I'm really into getting this like perfect Pokemon. But to me, I really appreciated those days in Gen 3 and Gen 4 when I didn't actually know anything about Pokemon. So I didn't care that this Pokemon I caught didn't have the right IVs or was not the super rare 1% color. I just played the games to enjoy the games. I only found out a month ago that the starters have like a biased gender ratio, and I'm just like, why? If I want a girl, let me have a girl. If I want a guy, let me have a guy. Don't impose authenticity and scarcity. It's just things. You're not gonna say like, my dog is a top 1% dog, so I'm not gonna get any other dog. London, councils have gone broke. Trash is piling up. That's not true. The trash goes through quite regularly, but I live near a station, and there's just so much trash always, and it's really annoying because they dump like cardboard boxes and these plastic bags all over the street. So that's the London experience that I know. I guess that's why they did Gigantamax Garbodor. I only found out that Garbodor is supposed to be a cat. It's a trash kitty, which is really cute. So in this frame, I blew him up really big to a point where you can barely even see him. I made everything dark. When you do Dynamax, like the whole world gets darker, and it's, yeah, you got some Galarian Coughings, more trash Pokemon. Oh yeah, this one is the hardest one. So this is one part about the Pokemon games which I do appreciate, is that they distilled British or UK culture down into ideas. Like in Pokemon Black and White, it was items. So Trubbish is a rubbish bag. Kling Clang is just a bunch of gears. In Pokemon Black and White, you've had these Pokemon which are item, but with Pokemon Sword and Shield, what they did is they took ideas. In the UK, there's this idea of music. There's a lot of underground music, and then you've also got the Beatles mania. For such a small country, they actually surprisingly have a lot of culture. And when you go around, especially Soho, it's just all the time there's somebody busking, and it's normally just like a different person, and there's always a crowd around them, and it's special to the UK. It really is. And I feel like it's quite nice that they actually made quite a few music Pokemon for Pokemon Sword and Shield. So that's Rillaboom, Obstagoon, and Toxtricity. These are based off bands, like British bands. which means they're all based off dudes, and I'm not good at drawing dudes, and essentially these are all furries, so I just really struggled here, because my Rillaboom, in whatever pose I made him do, just looked like a furry, and the toxicity just looks so odd angled, because I'm trying to copy how the guy was standing. And the Obstagoon, I didn't even bother to try to copy the shape, I just made him really big and covered everything up. Then the image came out fine. I was trying to do like that Hobie from Into the Spider-Verse where he has like a different rendering every time. So anyway, let's talk about London Chinatown. It's fine. It's loud, it's noisy, and it's full of people. But there's a lot of culture to it, and I feel like that is a really big part of London. So in this image, it's these two lions that I think some company donated. And I turned the two stone lions into Growliths. And you know when I was doing it, I realized Hisuian Growlith, I think it's based off these rock statues, because the way its head is shaped is a lot more rounded, and the fact that it's a rock fire type, I think it's literally trying to emulate this. So I thought this was really cool. I thought just like the whole idea and the execution was really good. And then I put in like two little Pokemon just to like, you know, round out the thing. Galarian Corsola is kind of special. It's not very useful and nobody really talks about it, but I like the aesthetic and I like that it exists. Like, comment, and subscribe. I actually really like this idea. So I want to go around to like Stonehenge, to like Bath and like other parts of the UK and do essentially this, because Wyndon is such a small part of the UK and there's just so much more to it. And Pokemon Sword and Shield, they didn't capture all of it, but they captured some of it. And honestly, a little bit is better than nothing at all, right?